So you're considering making a move to Georgia, and maybe Atlanta is on your radar. And you want to be close by, but you're not 100% sure of where in Metro Atlanta you need to move to. So today we're going to give you pros and cons about Dallas, Georgia. That's right, Dallas in Georgia. I know everybody thinks of Texas, but there is a Dallas, Georgia. And we're going to talk today about all the good, the bad, the ugly, right? Because that's really what you want to know when you're going to relocate. We're going to start off by talking about commute to Atlanta. We are about 32 miles away from Atlanta. And while that doesn't sound like a lot, sometimes in heavy traffic, it can be. So if you're actually working in downtown Atlanta, that's probably going to be a little bit of an hour, anywhere from that to maybe an hour and a half. And we're just going to be realistic, right? So that might be a con for you. However, if you're going to be a little bit further out, you're maybe working in Marietta, Kennesaw, Ackworth, somewhere in there, because there's a lot of great jobs in those areas, then the commute will not be as bad. You might be 30 minutes. It just depends on where you're located at. So a much more manageable commute. So let's talk commute in Metro Atlanta. Most people have at least a 30-minute commute. To be realistic, certainly if they're trying to have more affordable housing or they want a more suburban feel. So 30 minutes is pretty normal. An hour, a lot of people do have that hour, maybe a little bit over. We are a Metro Atlanta area, so keep that in mind. So let's head over to Google Maps and let me show you some things about that commute, where we're located. We are north of Atlanta, and some other little tidbits about Dallas in itself and how we're really on the border, even though we're in Paulding County. Right over from us is Cobb County. And we'll talk about all that location, show you a few things.
So now let's go over here. I'm on the Google map. I'm going to show you some things that you would need to know about how far Dallas, Georgia is from Atlanta. We're going to talk some more pros and cons. So right here, as you can see, is Dallas, Georgia. And then over here, far down, is Atlanta. So we're about 32 miles, like I mentioned before, outside. And one of the things you'll notice is that this commute is going to be at least an hour and a half, depending on traffic, because right here is 278. So you're either going to go from wherever you're at in Dallas, you're going to go, because this is downtown Dallas, you're going to go over to Hiram, go 278 down. You'll hit 20 and then be over into Atlanta. Or you're going to come up here. I am going to zoom in just a little bit so you'll be able to see. So a lot of people will take Dallas Ackworth or they live off the Cedar Crest Road. You're going to then have to hit 41, right? So there's Dobbs Bridge, Cedar Crest, Dallas Ackworth. So you're going to hit 41. From there, you could take 92 over to 75 and take it into the city, or you could take 41 way down here and then hit 75 itself. So there's a couple different ways out, but we don't have a major interstate. So that's a question a lot of people have. So they feel that's a negative, but there are obviously ways in and out. You could even take 120 all the way over to Marietta and then hit 75 if that was an option for you. So right here is the Wellstar Paulding Medical Center. So that is something that a lot of people are interested to know. I'll mention that later in the video, a little bit more details, but we do have our own hospital out here. This is White Oak Park. It's a great park. This right here is really going to be where all our government buildings are down towards downtown. Sarah Babb Park is another great park that a lot of people like to go to. And then let's talk a little bit about shopping. So, one of the cons for sure is because we are a little bit further out, there's not a lot of shopping. So, if you want to go to a grocery store, like a larger warehouse type, like a Costco, we do have one out here. There's also a Sam's, which is over in Hiram, but those are about 20 minutes away. So it's not going to be as close. Now, grocery stores we have for sure if you're in the pocket closer to Cobb. So Paulding County touches Cobb right over in this area. And so you will dump over into it within a few minutes if you live in any of the major neighborhoods I just mentioned, like Bentwater, Seven Hills, Riverwood, things like that. You're just maybe 5 minutes over the line. So it's super convenient if you are looking to live in one of those neighborhoods. If we get further out in Dallas, and Paulding, you're going to probably add out there another 25 minutes to that commute, being totally transparent here. So let's look a little bit here. So there's a Publix at supermarket over here in Seven Hills. There's also one down here in what we call New Hope, which is part of Dallas. But a lot of people, and let me adjust the map a little bit more detailed, there is something we call the crossroads. So on Dallas Ackworth Highway and Cedar Crest Road, which is also considered Highway 92, right here is a lot of shopping. Let me see if it's going to show up everything that's here. So if you're looking for any kind of fast food, there's a lot concentrated, and this isn't even going to show all of it. So at this Kroger, there is a restaurant that's locally owned called Barn Belly Burgers, which is really good. As you can see, they have a 4.9 rating. There's a Mexican, there's Starbucks, there's Dunkin', there's also all the fast food. There's Wendy's, McDonald's, Taco Bell. There is let's see what else, a Dairy Queen. There is an Arby's. There's a Moe's. There's Popeyes. So pretty much Subway, there's pizza, a little bit of everything, all at the shopping. There's also a Waffle House. If you're not from the South, we love a Waffle House here, and they are everywhere. But this would really be a lot of the shopping. As you can see, there's car washes and some other things. So that's pretty concentrated all in one spot. And we do have a few other restaurants scattered out. Most of them are locally owned. So, but as far as if you really want to do a lot of like sit down dining, you're going to have to go to a neighboring city. Um, Same with shopping. Hiram has Target and Walmart and all kinds of restaurants that line it. And so if you're looking for that, you're going to be about 20 minutes over from this part of Dallas. If you get further out, like I said, you're going to have to add another 10, 15, 20 minutes to it. We often go either to Hiram, we can shoot over to Ackworth, or we can go to Cartersville, all within 20 minutes. And we live over in this area. So this is the neighborhood I live in. So, like I said, about 20 minutes away, but just wanted to show you a little bit of the map so you kind of have an idea where we're at. Harris Pickett's Mill Battlefield, it's a historic site. I'll mention it a little bit later in the video as well. If you're looking for outdoor activities, it's great. It's a great place to take the family. So I hope this little tour right here helped you.
So let's talk about our downtown area in Dallas. It's super cute and quaint, and we do have a lot of activities that they have started planning. However, it is much smaller than a lot of the other squares. Marietta Square is fantastic, has tons of restaurants and shopping and lots of events. Same for Woodstock. Those areas have really gotten revitalized in the last few years, and a lot of businesses have come in. Now, however, if you are looking for a cute place to be, or you are looking for a place for a restaurant, we are always looking for those to come out here because that is one of the things that's rather limited, which is what we talked about when I did the Google Maps tour. So let's get into a pro. So let's talk about actual houses out here. One of the biggest pros for Dallas, Georgia is the fact that we have all this new construction. So if you're looking for a new construction home and you were looking in Cobb or Woodstock, you're going to be highly disappointed under 500,000. There is almost nothing, or you're going to end up in a townhome. So if you're looking for new construction, we have tons of new construction being built out here. In the next year to two, they have already slated another 3,000 new construction homes, right? So that's a lot. We have existing neighborhoods that they're building the new construction in, and then some where they've come in and they're developing the whole neighborhood. We also have the ability to have HOAs out here where they've got new construction, or if you're looking for land to build on. Now, let's keep in mind, I'm talking an acre, three, maybe up to 10. We're not talking like Yellowstone, Ponderosa kind of thing. But we are talking about having no HOA, and you do have a little room to spread out. You could put a workshop, have work utility vehicles, your RV, campers, that kind of thing. Totally possible out here. That is not possible in our neighbor city of Cobb because that county is so developed. It's just not a reality for most people anymore. So if you're looking to stretch out, that's also happening out here. So let's talk about builders. We have what we would call more of a cookie cutter builder, where they're a large brand and they build out here. We also have some what smaller builders that will build, a couple homes a year, you know, and then we have custom builders. So we have a variety. So it depends on what you're looking for. But if you are looking for new construction, Paulding is the place to be, especially in the section of Dallas, Georgia. And let's not forget, if you are looking to retire, Dallas, Georgia is a great place to retire in. Let's talk about why, though. So, one of the biggest things is we have a lot of 55 plus neighborhoods that have come in recently, and there's new construction going on. So, it's giving you the affordability factor. It's also going to give you, like I said, new construction. So it's super low maintenance for you. The exteriors are often maintained by the HOA as well as the lawns. They also have a lot of amenities. Suggestions for a lot of people is Seven Hills because they have pools, pickleball, tennis courts. It's a great neighborhood to live in for 55 plus, also because of all the activities. Tons of activities going on, like book clubs, yoga, you name it. The other great thing about that neighborhood is, let's say you want to be close to all those grandbabies, right? When you retire, you don't want to be too far from them. There is the main section, which is just normal single family homes, and then there is the 55 plus. So you get the low maintenance lifestyle, you get tons of activities, you have your own pool. They're adding a second pool for you soon, a second clubhouse, and you get that lifestyle, but you're still close to those grandbabies. So, like I said, Dallas, Georgia has a lot to offer. Let's also talk about taxes. So, in Paulding County, if you're a senior at the age of 65, they're going to start eliminating some of those school taxes. So, about half will go away, and it tiers up to 68. And at 68, all of your school taxes go away. So, it's not based on income for that, it's just the fact that you're a senior, you don't have little ones anymore. And so, that's a huge perk for retiring in Dallas, Georgia. Now let's talk about the average sales price in Dallas, Georgia. It runs about 370,000. Now, keep in mind that is the average. We do have larger, more custom homes, and we do have some neighborhoods that have golf and other amenities. Where if you're looking for more of what we call an executive or luxury home, we do have those available as well. One of the benefits of moving out to Dallas is not only do we have all that new construction, but those builders are really offering a lot of incentives right now. They're trying to get you into the homes, they have a lot that's being built, and what they're doing is offering you either a percentage, like 3, 4% of the sales price, or they're offering you $15,000, $20,000. You can use that money to then buy the rate down, or you can use it for closing costs or combination if you get enough. Another great thing is they may be offering an actual rate buy down themselves with their lender. Now, to get those incentives, you do have to use their lender, but you could end up in the threes, or fours. It just depends. And so that's a huge reason why a lot of families are finding themselves moving to Dallas, Georgia. Now, let's talk resales because that's a lot of reason why when people do move a little bit further out and they're looking for that land, you might end up in an older home. So that's a con. We do have a lot of older homes here that were the original homes that were built, and they are aging. So you're going to have an older HVAC, roof, things like that. But we do have pockets where, when that building was going on in 2000, we have a lot of homes that were built out here in that time frame. Where, like I said, if you get over into like Cobb, you are definitely aging out because they have a lot of homes that were built in the early 1900s, all the way to a lot of buildings seem to be in the 60s, 70s, all those little brick ranches. So we're definitely newer than that in a lot of our resales. So you're still going to be able to get something that was 2000 and newer, um, and not always something old. But like I said, sometimes if you do get land and it has a home on it, it will definitely be an older home. Now, we do have a lot of rehabbing going on out here. So that's another thing that's an advantage to moving to Dallas, Georgia, because those homes might be older and you get the land, but the rehab portion is amazing because then you've got all that charm, you get it to be updated, and you get all that privacy. Now let's consider Dallas, Georgia to one of our sister cities, which is Ackworth, Georgia, because we end up comparing it a lot since it's so close. Now, got to tell you a little secret though about Ackworth, and it confuses a lot of people. So the bulk of Ackworth is in Cobb County. However, on the little edges on the outside, a piece of Ackworth falls over into Paulding County, Cherokee County, and a little bit in Bartow. And it's super confusing for people when we're talking about it. Because if you tell me you want to live in Ackworth, Georgia, I'm going to ask you where, because it stretches out really far. And so, since it touches into Paulding, we talk about it a lot. And you actually get more bang for buck if you end up in that section. But right now, we're going to compare Dallas, Georgia, and Ackworth, Georgia. So when we're doing that comparison, we are 6% cheaper to live in Dallas, Georgia than Ackworth, Georgia. So that's definitely one more pro for being in Dallas, Georgia, but you're just a few minutes over the line to be into Ackworth and into Cobb County. Another question that we get asked all the time is Dallas, Georgia, a safe place to live? And we can say absolutely, because it has been voted by Safewise.com in the top 20 safest cities in Georgia. So Dallas, Georgia is indeed a safe place to live. So let's say that you have a job where you can work from home and you're considering Dallas, Georgia. This is definitely in the pros column because we have a lot of high-speed internet. We have a lot of AT&T fiber and other things out here that make it a great place if you're wanting to work from home. This allows a lot of people who end up wanting to live close to Metro Atlanta, but they still don't want to have the commute, but they want to work from home. They can take advantage of our higher paying jobs here. Maybe they do go into the office 1 or 2 days a week, and they still have those advantages of our cost of living and our houses being newer and nicer. All right, time to talk about education. I know that's on everybody's mind. So, we do have some really good schools out here. We are in the top 30% of schools in the state, and we are now opening up a new middle school. Because remember, I talked about all that new construction. So, we have had a little bit, like most counties, of a growth issue with our schools where we were having so many homes built and so many new families move out here because it's a great place to live that we are starting to have a little bit of overcrowding. But as we know, in every school system, in every county, what happens is we're oftentimes reactive to that, not proactive. So, to help with that, though, they have just built a new middle school that will help alleviate that growth pocket because North Paulding High School was our favorite high school. So, that new middle school is called Crossroads Middle School. So now let's talk about green space. One of the best things about Dallas, Georgia is because we are not built up like some metro Atlanta cities, there is a lot of green space out here. And we have some neighborhoods where when they were developed, they kept that in mind. Take, for instance, Seven Hills, Riverwood, Bentwater. Those neighborhoods, those developers decided to keep the green space around to make them lush and really a great place to live. There's also a lot of walking trails and other things in there that you just won't get closer into metro Atlanta. So now let's say you actually want to get out into nature. Dallas, Georgia is great for that. Like I said, we have lots of green space. So we have a piece of the Silver Comet Trail where you can hop on in multiple locations here. If you're familiar with anything in Metro Atlanta, that's a huge thing. You can go for a walk. You can actually hike on it. You could get picked up somewhere along the way from someone if you wanted to go a long distance. You can bike on it. It's actually pretty cool. We also have Pickett's Mill Battlefield. And they have reenactments out there. They have a park, you can camp. There's all kinds of fun things for you to be able to do. If waterfalls are your thing, we actually have two. They're really close. You can actually hike them at the same time. It's not a hard hike. High Shoal Falls and Blue Hole Falls. And they're close together and they're super cool. So if that's your thing, then Dallas, Georgia is the place for you to come to. And if you're just looking for a park for some recreation for your family, we have Sarah Babs and we also have White Oaks. One of the questions we also get asked all the time is about medical facilities out here. We do have Wellstar Paulding Hospital out here, and then we have multiple other urgent cares. So there is the availability for medical care, as long with regular doctors and office parks and things like that. But we do have major medical options. A lot of our retirees are particularly concerned about that because they want to make sure they're close to a hospital. We also have at our Walmart out here a medical clinic. It actually was a test pilot for all the medical clinics for Walmart in the whole US, and it's very affordable. They have walk-in visits if you just get like a sinus infection or something like that. But if you're looking for a low-cost medical, they have a dental office, they have eye clinic, and like I said, they have that clinic there for any medical needs, and they can do blood work, all kinds of stuff there. So if you're in a situation where you're looking for affordable health care and you don't actually have insurance, they're a great place for you to be able to go. I touched on this a little bit earlier, but let's talk about employment. So, one of the things that I will tell you is we don't have a ton of large industry out here in Dallas, Georgia. So, that might be a con for you. But the commute to be able to go to somewhere else that does around the metro Atlanta area is amazing. So, in my eyes, you get that suburban feel living out here, and you don't have as much congestion and traffic, but you do get the pro of being able to commute into somewhere else. And so for that work from home thing, we already talked about that being a great advantage because we have the high speed internet. But I just want to say to you, I think if you're looking for that suburban lifestyle, Dallas, Georgia definitely needs to be on your radar. So if you're considering making a move and Dallas, Georgia is the place that you've decided, we would love to be able to help you. Or if you want more information, you can subscribe to our channel about Dallas, Georgia and watch all of our other videos because we highlight what's great about Dallas, Georgia, as well as we highlight neighborhoods out here that you might consider too. Or you can give us a call and we'd love to schedule a time to speak with you and help you make that move and put a plan in place for you.